Hey everybody, welcome back to Jeff Bowles Central. Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker's home video release is only a few short weeks away, and with it, as I understand it, the entire release of the entire saga on 4K Blu-ray, which is really exciting. First time that's ever happened. Not the last, probably. Um, and so I thought I'd take the opportunity to share my humble opinion over which is superior, The Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi. A lot of people hate The Last Jedi very, very much. A lot of people hate The Rise of Skywalker very, very much. And there's not a whole lot of overlap on hating both. You're kind of a fan of one or a fan of the other. Nobody, by the way, has that disagreement about The Force Awakens. Most Star Wars fans tend to agree that that was a really great return to form and that J.J. Abrams kind of knocked it out of the park and brought Star Wars back from the prequel brink, we might call it. But for my money, The Last Jedi is the better movie. And there's many reasons for that. For the most part, it seems like people complained about the fact that Luke Skywalker was less heroic than he should have been. And I definitely do see that, because you see a very different Luke in The Last Jedi than you see anywhere else in any of the other movies. But it sort of stands to reason, doesn't it? Because it's, 30 years later, and if you really logically kind of dig this out of what it should be, he did fail. He did fail with Ben Solo, with Kylo Ren. Now, did he have to be as super depressed, probably suicidal, wanting to end the entire Jedi Order and the whole Jedi story type of character? Maybe not. But the fact that he's not immediately heroic, I think, gives Luke an incredible amount of dimension that he never had before. He was always just the stalwart hero, which worked just fine. Everybody loves Mark Hamill's original performances. But this Luke in The Last Jedi, life has beaten him around, man. Like, life has really taken him to the cleaner, which is what happens in life. Just wait around, man. Just get old enough and you'll see what I mean. I'm sorry, but that's the reality of the situation. And it gives him some place to go. He starts out really low, and then at the end of the movie, he has his moment of triumph. Now, does he actually have a lightsaber fight, like a real lightsaber fight with Kylo Ren? Does he actually, as he says, face down the whole First Order with a laser sword? Sort of, but sort of not. And you could argue that having Luke be a Force ghost projected across space and time while he's still alive is something that never happened before. But there's a lot of firsts in the new trilogy, honestly. I feel like that little capper to Luke's entire story makes him a much more dimensional, dare I say it, realistic character. And I love it. I love that he starts low, and I love that he comes back. He comes back. And then he dies. And did he need to die? I don't know. See, the thing is like you can say that a million ways about what a creator's choice is. He shouldn't have done this little thing or that little thing, but ultimately you have to consider the whole thing, I think. And as a whole, I think The Last Jedi is a better movie than The Rise of Skywalker. The Rise of Skywalker to me is a little clumsy. It's overstuffed. There are so many moments that felt rushed. And to me, that suggests that the script was trying to do too much. And honestly, I don't understand J.J. Abrams' approach to it. I don't understand why he felt the need to tie up something that was already tied up. And by that, I mean Palpatine. Why resurrect Palpatine? He was already dead. And actually, in resurrecting Palpatine, does not the movie completely rob Anakin Skywalker of his entire story? His fall, his redemption to save his son. It's not nullified completely, but he didn't kill shit. He didn't stop anything. He didn't balance anything. Anakin Skywalker's story is like a zero sum now. All that we can honor some obscure line from Episode 3 about the Force being a pathway to many abilities, some considered to be unnatural. and I don't think also that it was necessary to tie up all 9 movies. There were no loose threads. 1 through 6 is a pretty concise story, so all JJ had to do was tie up 7 through 9. So it feels rushed. It feels awkward in places to me. It's not as like powerful and concise as The Force Awakens even. And for my money, The Last Jedi is the better movie. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Do it. Hey, do you want to read a good book? Everybody, this is a good book. This is a good book for you to read. This is called God's Body, Book 1, The Fall. This is my latest novel. It's about giant beings falling to Earth and beating each other to death and the global fallout that happens because of it. It's very funny and comic booky in places and pulpy and horrific and strange. Very cool book. You'll love it, I promise. And I'm going to tell you something. If you don't love it, I have to doubt that you're a human. I think maybe you're undead like a zombie. I think people who don't like my book are zombies. Blanket statement.